Overthinking is something almost everyone experiences at some point. A simple situation can suddenly turn into hours of analyzing every word, every possibility, and every outcome. You replay conversations in your mind, question your decisions, and imagine scenarios that may never even happen. But overthinking is rarely about the situation itself. More often, it is driven by a deeper emotion: fear. Understanding the connection between overthinking and fear can help people break free from the cycle and regain peace of mind. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like to the channel, and hit the bell for more videos. Here are some important truths about overthinking and the hidden fears behind it. Overthinking is often a fear of making mistakes. Many people overthink because they are afraid of making the wrong decision. They constantly analyze every option, trying to predict the perfect outcome. But life rarely provides perfect certainty. The fear of making mistakes can trap someone in endless mental loops instead of allowing them to move forward. Sometimes the real solution is simply accepting that mistakes are a normal part of growth. It comes from the desire to control the future. Overthinking often begins when someone tries to control situations that are unpredictable. The mind starts creating endless scenarios in an attempt to prepare for every possible outcome. However, the future cannot be completely controlled. Trying to predict everything can create unnecessary stress and anxiety. Learning to accept uncertainty can reduce the urge to overanalyze every detail. Overthinking is linked to fear of rejection. Many people replay conversations repeatedly because they worry about how others perceive them. They may ask themselves questions like, did I say something wrong? What if they misunderstood me? What if they think badly of me? This pattern often comes from a fear of rejection or disapproval. When someone becomes more confident in their own self-worth, these fears tend to lose their power. It can be a sign of deep self-doubt. Overthinking is often connected to self-doubt. When someone doubts their own judgment, they tend to question every choice they make. This creates a cycle where decisions feel heavier and more stressful than they actually are. Building self-confidence and trusting your instincts can help reduce this constant mental questioning. The mind mistakes thinking for problem solving. Overthinking can feel productive because the mind believes it is solving problems. But there is a difference between productive thinking and repetitive worrying. Productive thinking leads to solutions and action. Overthinking, on the other hand, often repeats the same thoughts without moving forward. Recognizing this difference can help break the cycle. Fear of judgment can fuel overthinking. Another hidden fear behind overthinking is the fear of being judged by others. People may worry about how their actions, opinions, or mistakes will be perceived. This fear can make even small decisions feel overwhelming. Understanding that everyone makes mistakes and that opinions vary can help reduce this pressure. Overthinking can create problems that don't exist. One of the most surprising truths about overthinking is that it can create problems that were never there in the first place. By imagining worst-case scenarios, the mind can turn neutral situations into stressful ones. Many of the worries people experience never actually happen. Learning to recognize when the mind is exaggerating situations can bring clarity and calmness. It can drain mental energy. Constant overthinking consumes a large amount of mental energy. Instead of focusing on the present moment, the mind becomes trapped in past conversations or future possibilities. Over time, this mental exhaustion can reduce productivity, creativity, and overall well-being. Letting go of unnecessary thoughts can help restore mental balance. Overthinking often delays action. When the mind analyzes too many possibilities, it becomes harder to make decisions. This can lead to hesitation, procrastination, or missed opportunities. Sometimes the best way to break the cycle of overthinking is simply taking small steps forward. Action often brings clarity faster than endless analysis. Peace comes from accepting imperfection. One of the biggest truths about overcoming overthinking is accepting that life will never be completely predictable or perfect. People will misunderstand things sometimes. Situations will not always go as planned. But learning to accept imperfection allows the mind to relax. When you stop trying to control everything, you create space for peace and confidence. Overthinking often comes from past experiences. Many people overthink because of experiences they had in the past. If someone has been hurt, rejected, or disappointed before, their mind may try to prevent the same situation from happening again. As a result, they analyze every detail of new situations in an attempt to avoid repeating past pain. However, constantly reliving past experiences can prevent someone from fully enjoying the present. It can be a fear of losing control. For some people, overthinking is connected to a deep fear of losing control. They may feel the need to plan every step or analyze every possibility to feel safe. But life rarely follows perfect plans. Learning to accept that not everything can be controlled is an important step toward reducing overthinking. Letting go of the need to control every outcome can bring a sense of freedom. Overthinking can distort reality. When the mind repeatedly focuses on the same thought, it can begin to exaggerate the situation. Small concerns may start to feel like major problems. This distortion can make situations seem more complicated or negative than they actually are. Recognizing when your mind is magnifying a problem can help you return to a more balanced perspective. Silence can make overthinking worse. Sometimes, when there is no clear answer in a situation, the mind fills the silence with assumptions. For example, if someone takes longer than usual to respond to a message, an overthinking mind might create multiple negative explanations. In reality, there could be many simple reasons for the delay. Understanding that silence does not always mean something negative can reduce unnecessary stress. Overthinking can affect self-confidence. Constantly questioning your actions and decisions can slowly weaken your self-confidence. When you repeatedly doubt yourself, it becomes harder to trust your own judgment. Breaking the habit of overthinking often involves learning to trust your instincts and accept that not every decision needs to be perfect. Confidence grows when you allow yourself to move forward without constant self-doubt. Learning to pause your thoughts is powerful. One helpful way to manage overthinking is learning how to pause and redirect your thoughts. Activities like deep breathing, focusing on the present moment, or engaging in physical activity can help calm a racing mind. These simple practices create distance between you and your thoughts, making them easier to manage. Sometimes the mind just needs a moment of stillness to reset. Conclusion: overthinking is not just about thinking too much. It is often about the fears hidden underneath those thoughts. Fear of mistakes, rejection, judgment, and uncertainty can all fuel the habit of analyzing situations endlessly. But when you begin to recognize these fears and accept that not everything can be controlled, the mind gradually becomes quieter. Overthinking often hides deeper fears: fear of mistakes, rejection, uncertainty, or losing control. While the mind may believe it is protecting you by analyzing every possibility, excessive thinking often creates more stress than solutions. Recognizing the fears behind overthinking is the first step toward breaking the cycle. When you learn to trust yourself, accept uncertainty, and focus on the present moment, the mind becomes calmer and clearer,